Okay, part 2 of your fraction lesson. Let's go. Remember, our numerator is our top number, and our denominator is our bottom number. And the numerator tells how many are shaded, and the bottom number tells us how many total. How many total make the whole. So how many pieces in a whole. Okay, so we look at our pieces here and we notice a couple of things. First, our top number, 1, 2, 3 pieces are shaded. Our bottom number, 1, 2, 3, 4 total pieces. And we also notice in our next one we have 1, 2 pieces that are shaded, and our bottom number, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we were adding these two fractions, we would go ahead and look at our top number and our bottom numbers. We need to ask ourselves, do we need a common denominator? They look like they're the same size, so we look at our denominator. Our denominator says there are 4 pieces in a whole, 4 pieces in a whole. Do I need a common denominator? The answer is, I already have a common denominator. So I can go ahead and just add my pieces. 3 plus 2 is 5. And how many 5? 5 what? I have 5 fourths. 5 fourths. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. And if I look at this fraction, I call this fraction an improper fraction because it has a larger number on top than it has on the bottom. And in fact, what that means is there's actually one whole that we can make. We can move one of these pieces over to here, and this becomes 1, and then this becomes 1/4. 1 and 1/4. We do this. We do 5 minus 4. We subtract the 4 to make the whole. 5 minus 4 is 1, 1/4. And so our final answer is 1/4. And that's how we handle ones that already have a common denominator. So then we go to the next one here, and we see, although not perfectly drawn, we have the same situation. We have a numerator, we have a denominator, and we have our 3 questions. We have 1, 2, 3, 3 shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4 total pieces, plus 1 shaded, 1 out of 2 shaded total pieces. The first question is, do I need a common denominator? And the answer is, yeah. These pieces are obviously different sizes. 4 and 2, different sizes. The second question is, can I use one of these, either fourths or halves, as the common denominator? So we look and say, does 2 go into 4? Well, if you look at your multiples chart, and you go to 2, 2, 4. So 4 is a multiple of 4 and of 2, so 4 is your common denominator. So we would say our new common denominator is going to be 4 plus something else over 4. And we also know that this number didn't change. 4 didn't change. There are still 4 pieces. 4 doesn't change. The denominator didn't change. The numerator doesn't change. Those pieces did not change at all. However, over here, when we split it into fourths, remember this was your original piece, each piece got split into 2 pieces. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 times 1, 1, 2. 2 times 1 is 2. And now I can count up and add my fourths. Common denominator, 3 plus 2 is 5 fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fourths. But we should also notice that this is also an improper fraction, meaning the top number is bigger than the other, which means there's a whole that we can pull out. One whole, meaning we can take this fourth, stick it in there, and we have 1 and 1/4.